It slipped right through my fingers. It slipped right through my fingers. It slipped right through my fingers. You said never let me go. It never worked out fine. I watched it fall away.
Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back to some more Mania 4-Key World Cup 2025 action. We have a banger of a match, potentially banger of the week, as I was saying with my co-commentator here earlier. But it's going to be United States Chile, a winner's bracket match for the semifinals, number 2 seed versus number 6 seed. Both of these teams vying for that top spot in the tournament, and both of them have each other to get through if they want a better shot at making it, and a guaranteed top 3 position, so podium spot for whoever wins this match. A lot of stakes here, but I am going to be one of your commentators, Toph Daddy, joined here by Sparky. How's it go?
It's going absolutely fantastic, and I think you nailed the hammer on the head here. This is probably the marquee of the weekend. I'm willing to go out on a limb and say that, I mean, these two countries, what can we say? Like, they have been putting on an absolute show so far in this tournament, and the fact that they're colliding here in semifinals, guaranteed top 3 position on the line, I feel like there's a lot at stake here.
Yeah, absolutely. One of these two teams will get that podium spot guaranteed. One of them will have to fight through the losers bracket to try and reclaim it. But it's an exciting time. These two teams have been putting on clinics against their opponents. Chile with some absurd accuracy, potentially the best long note team in the tournament, maybe barring China. But the United States, arguably best accuracy overall in the tournament. So it's going to be a dogfight out here, and it's one of those situations where I think misses are going to matter more than anything here.
Yeah, absolutely. And already right out of the gate, just swinging for the fences. 95-89 for the rolls. US winning that out. So we're going to see them protect LN1.
See, and here I am saying that Chile is one of the best LN teams in the tournament, and the United States protects long notes and Chile protects rice, and everything's backwards again. These players love to punk me on this.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, to be fair, Chile going back to what we were maybe expecting, Rice 7 getting banned out during this process, and the United States banning out Rice 4.
Interesting.
That feels like a respect ban.
Yes, it does. I absolutely agree. Having the jack accuracy that Chile does it's just something you don't want to risk, because I think Chile has 2 players who can probably get like 20 300s on a map like Rice 4. And at that point, United States either needs to play absolutely perfectly or hope for misses. And I just don't think they want to put that kind of chance out for, the points that they're trying to get.
Yeah, this is going to teeter on a knife's edge, it feels like. I think we were kind of touching on it before this match started amongst ourselves, that it's like, this is basically, if the United States doesn't play up to what we expect them to play as, Chile has a really, really, really good shot. And to be fair, even like an average performance of the United States is at risk of being usurped by this Chilean roster. That is just how strong they have been coming in from the 6th seed.
Yeah, that said, I mean, Chile's in the same spot, right? Like,
yeah.
Chile's not playing perfectly. I think the United States has an obvious chance to take advantage of that. And I don't know what to say if they both play perfectly, which we've seen some incredible play from both of these teams coming up to this round. And I think some players were some watchers were maybe hoping to see a matchup like this come in like finals or even grand finals, which is still potentially possible no matter what the result of this is. But it's just going to be, it might be a little bit closer to the accuracy side of things for both of these teams, especially with just how high the physical ceiling is for all the players in this lobby.
For sure. And I mean, we always hope that these matches go the distance. I could very well see this going all the way down to the wire, or having one of those, like, on paper it looks like an absolute drubbing, but those points are just like the most hard fought inside like 2,000 point victories across the board, and it just looks like a blowout one way or the other.
Yeah, absolutely, but we'll have to see how this goes. Rice 1 ends up being the pick from the United States, picked a couple minutes ago, actually, just been talking over it. But we mentioned potentially seeing Chile favoring LN, United States favoring Rice. Despite the LN protect from the United States, they are going to dig into the Rice pool to start off this match. Potentially a jab given the tech pick being banned, though if you would expect that kind of response, I almost would have done this in response to like a Rice 6 ban, potentially. But I think in this case, it's just going to be a matter of United States trying to dig at whatever weaknesses they can find in Chile, and Chile's going to just do the same. I don't think this is going to be long guns versus Rice specifically. I think it's going to be whatever each team's skill set is going to be. And this, for the United States, at least, well, I was going to start talking more, but we already see some action with Michael fighting an early break. But I was just going to say that the awkward patterns of this kind of lend themselves to a semi-technical kind of requirement, and I think that's kind of where the United States is trying to push their ability, whereas Chile may be going to be sticking more so around the straightforward picks, like the jump stream, the stamina, the LN density, and maybe a hybrid one way or another. We are well into this map anyways, and just the one miss early on is going to give the United States a lead, but not too big, especially with it not being past 400 now, though.
Yeah, not the worst thing in the world, but to be fair, it did come with a pretty significant accuracy drop, dropping down Michael down into that 98% range, making a pretty decent recovery run, but a miss at about 3/10 behind everybody on the United States is going to account for a bulk, if not all of the 7,000 point lead that the United States has built up. And we were alluding to it when this match started. It's like this match is going to teeter on those tiny mistakes, and it coming that early on. Yeah, there's still half the map left to go. Anything can still happen, but a second drop coming out from Michael going to compound matters here, help the United States increase their lead, practically doubling it here to the tune of about 14,000 points with a third of the map left to go here.
I need to make a note that the United States, all three players are above 99.9. And none of them are the highest accuracy in the lobby, but we're not too worried about that. This is an absurd showing for the United States. They are trying to put it out there that they are not going quietly through this match, looking like they're going to take a pretty strong opening pick as long as they're able to hold on through this ending. And 16,000 points is just a lot, especially with how good the accuracies are from Chile as well, despite the miss.
Yeah, two misses for Michael, the only person that's found a miss so far in this map, and that's all it needs for the United States to take their first point pretty convincingly. 18,000 points, very respectable ratio across the board. Nepogen almost losing that full combo, 100 towards the end there, but Yuchi just
62.
Yeah,
on a speed map.
Normal things.
Yeah, normal things, but pick comes out from Chile, and I was alluding to it a little bit. They're going to be sticking with sort of more straightforward picks. Hybrid 1, an obvious choice if you're going to stick with those types of maps. And Chile, at least, is predictable in this sense. Going to make sure that they go for pure accuracy on these types of maps and throw it off a little bit with the inclusion of some of the LNs in this hybrid.
For sure, and something just a little bit shorter as well. So room for recovery, not going to be the easiest to get through, but these teams know what's on the line, and like you were saying, just wanting to stick to the bog standard things, hoping to outact their opponents. We've seen the kind of team scores that Chile can put together on these types of picks, so not surprising that they'd go for this first. Maybe wanting to keep that protect in the back pocket for a later instance, see if something gets blown wide open, but it's understandable for a first pick to want to go for something like this.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see a couple swap outs, one on each team actually. Bambi FNF coming in for Michael there, who had the misses, so a little bit of a change in strategy there. And Peach Marrow coming in for Dev, which is an understandable swap out.
Yeah.
Dev not really going to be a hybrid or long-gun player. Peach Marrow, definitely a good person to take that slot for the United States.
For sure. So loading into the second map of this best of 11, Peach Marrow, the only person taking the mirror here in the lobby. So what I always like to say is either maybe some discomfort with the patterning, maybe some mind block, maybe just wanting to play it on the offhand, but gonna have to keep an eye on that as this map progresses.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see the opening patterns coming out. And Hello Sun gets tripped up in an opening burst, and Chile going to take a nice advantage. Similar opening to how the first map in the pool went with Michael fighting the misses. This time, Hello Sun going to do it for the United States, and Chile going to take a sizable lead, especially on such a short map, though. Same situation as the previous one, with Hello Sun having been before 400, and Bambi FNF actually going to trade that miss back, but unlike that one, it looks like that miss may actually be okay for Chile. It's going to get really close, but Hellosun's accuracy took a huge dive from that opening miss, and Bambi FNF is going to make it to 400 combo, with Chile still holding on to the lead halfway through this map, but just barely.
Yeah, it's been shrinking and shrinking this entire time. It feels like for every 100th, every 10th of a percent that Hellosun can climb back up, they start to wrench that lead back over into their favor. A couple of 200s coming out, they're going to put a bit of a damper on things, but Bambi hadn't recovered as elegantly as well from their miss. So now we're getting into a bit of a tug of war with a third of the map left to go here. Peachmarrow and Nepogen trying to do everything in their power to try and wrench this lead back from the Chileans, with Hellosun lending their support once again.
Yeah, and that bar staying in the red for the time being. We see it kind of messing up, but Bambi is going to find a drop. We only have a quarter of the map left, but no other misses have come from the United States, and they may be looking to take a break point if they're able to hold on consistently through this ending section. We have a speedier section. Bambi going to find another miss, and that may be nails in the coffin for this pick, despite a wonderful performance and the United States opening the door. It's still going to be a point for the United States on Chile's opening pick.
Looking so good there for the Chileans for so long. You get everything that you want there. An early break from the United States, just not able to see it through to the end. Some really impressive scores across the board, but it's those little things in those moments to be able to maintain the composure and the combo through the end of the map, and the United States just able to keep it together that little bit longer to get that first breakpoint, make it 2-0.
Yeah, we see roles reversing on the United States here. Nepogen this time getting the perfect run. Peachmarrow almost missing at one point, getting the 100 as Nep did on the first map. So a little bit of a silly one there. Antarex and Mucci putting up really good performances themselves, 1 and 2 to 200s respectively, but just not enough with the misses from Bambi there.
Yeah, it almost went according to plan for the Chileans. Gonna need to rethink how their next couple of picks are going to be. There's still some really comfortable picks for them in this pool, but gotta get those misses out of the system. Better to do it early though. A singular breakpoint, not the worst thing in the world to come back from, but kind of want to do that at the earliest opportunity.
Ooh.
Okay.
Not what I would have expected. I fully expected this to be a Chilean pick, if I'm being completely honest.
There's like, oh, they saw the name they recognized. It's like, oh, we know Toph.
You can't say that. Last time that
they ignored you.
They completely ignored me the last time.
I don't know, but the United States being as well-rounded as they are, I mean, it feels like it's pick of the litter. Whatever their comfort picks in a map pool are, they tend to gravitate towards, despite maybe the preferential leaning towards the rice picks. It feels like they can swing better scores on those. But when you have somebody like Nep on your team, being the monster at LN as they are, I mean, you can get a little risky.
You can, and the thing is, they also protected LM1, right? Which almost feels like they're more comfortable, or at least feel better about those kinds of more jack-based, more release-focused LN picks, like LN1 and then, our wildcard picks there. But going with the LN2, potentially something Chile would absolutely feel comfortable on. But they have to have confidence in it if they're picking this, and this would give them a consolidated lead, 3-0, going into Chile's next pick if they are to win this. So a big point to try and win. Otherwise, Chile may be able to even it out if they're able to get the breakpoint here.
For sure. So maybe venturing a little bit, getting a little exploratory, but regardless, all 6 players staying in for this. A couple more mirrors coming out. Mucci and Nep joining Peachmarrow with the mirror mod on this particular pick. So again, gonna need to keep an eye on that as this map progresses.
Yeah, absolutely. Patterns in general, relatively balanced on both hands, but it must just be a mind block potentially just coming out. Bambi FNF going to find a very early break alongside Mucci, and that is a horrible start for Chile there, as all 3 players of the United States hold on strong through that intro as Bambi and Mucci try to build up to 400, and they make it, but that already has given the United States a 13,000 point lead out the gate.
Yeah, polar opposite kind of a start that you would want if you are Chile to try and answer back. I mean, thankfully not their pick, but this is something that maybe we were expecting them to go into, and with that shaky of a start, I mean, it's gonna be tough sledding. It was before that 400 combo cap, so maybe not as many points bled over, but still 15,000 points to spot the United States out of the gate. Not something you want to be doing here as we make our way into the back half of the map.
Yeah, absolutely. Accuracy is also well in favor of the United States right now, despite the FC Anthrax down at 99.7. All three FCs in the United States at 99.8 or above, so that accuracy is coming in clutch for the United States on top of the misses and giving them a lot of room to make mistakes if they do find him. And Hello Sun, as I say that, is going to find a miss on the mini jack in the break section. And that might be a little bit of a boon for Chile, but they're going to need more help in order to come back in this, as Hello Sun is just about to get to 400 already.
Yeah, puts a tiny bit of a dent in that lead, down about 4,000, 5,000 points when all is said and done, but they still have 2 FCs left on their side of the table, and Nep just absolutely destroying this chart at the moment with the last sliver coming through. So some really difficult patterns to read through, so not out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination, but with the way they've been playing so far, just the epitome of consistency from the United States in terms of overall team performance as they successfully consolidate that lead, make it 3-0 here.
Oh, that's so sad. That's very sad.
Mind sharing with the class what you're seeing here?
Double S from Mucci outside the misses at the very beginning.
That's just Mucci things.
Yeah, it is. I'm kind of looking at how the scores shook out. It almost looks like if Mucci and Bambi didn't have the unfortunate intro misses, that definitely goes in favor of Chile. So it's just unfortunate all around.
I mean, that's how the cookie crumbles. We were saying it's like you gotta start these maps off on the right foot, and when you're going up against an opponent like the United States, you cannot afford to give over those slight little moments. It's those tiny mistakes that this team is just so good at exploiting sometimes. I mean, that being said, the same could be true for Chile. They're really good at exploiting these mistakes, but they're just not in positions to capitalize because of those mistakes, and Chile opting to go for Rice too.
Yeah, an expected pick. This was their protect, trying to get themselves back in this, get themselves a point on the board, and they're definitely going to need it. Looking down the United States, down 3-0, definitely not the position you want to be in. Granted, they're still only 1 break point behind. All it takes is Chile to take advantage of a mistake from the United States on one of their picks for them to be right back into this, but they need to start getting wins on their own picks as well, even though it's just been 1 loss.
Yeah, this feels like a pivotal point in this match already, where if this doesn't go their way, it's the protect. I mean, you're staring down the barrel at that point, and you've got to hope it's a blank on the other side. So some substitutions coming in, the more Rice-oriented players. Hello Sun tagging out this time for Reshiram to round out this United States composition, and we'll have to wait and see how this one goes. This is a big one.
Yeah, another 2 mirrors coming out, one from Reshiram, the new swap in for the United States, one from Mucci, sticking with mirror after also having it on for Pixel Planet. So potentially similar situation, but we'll have to just keep an eye out for that as this intro gets through. 270 BPM jump stream, and Michael going to open up the map with a very early drop, similar to what we saw in the first map in this match. As we hit 400 combo, United States going to take a slight lead off of that miss.
And it's going to increase, go from bad to worse here for the Chileans. Antrax following suit as well, be past that 400 combo cap, so that one's going to do quite a bit more damage. Relatively clean overall, but 99.5 isn't going to cut it here in this lobby as the United States begins to pull away. Once again, 17,000 points to the good going into the second third of the map.
Yeah, absolutely not. The accuracy from the United States matching their just dominance right now. 99.97 on 2 players. Reshiram right behind. Mucci doing what they can with a 99.99% accuracy, but 2 misses from their teammate is enough for this lead to just look massive. Might be the biggest lead we've seen so far today. At least between these 2 teams.
Yeah. being exacerbated just by that length. But Dev going to find a drop going into the last third of the map. A pretty clean transition, pretty clean drop overall. Still in that 99.9 range, but it's going to put a tiny bit of a damper here. 11,000 points, potential openings, but I mean, Antrax Michael doing really well to recover from their earlier drops, but just not in a position to capitalize as heavily as they could potentially on that miss.
Yeah, that did give them quite a score bump. 7,000 points recovered by Chile, but they've got probably about 2 more misses that they need if they want to take this point from the United States. And last few patterns coming in, Michael's going to be the one to drop, and the United States is going to take another break point and make this a very tough situation for Chile.
Oh, what are those scores, man? 45,
23.
47, 23. Ugh. Gross.
Just the one miss from Dev, otherwise a full V1SS from the United States. Actually, pretty much the same thing for Chile as well. What?
It's those fine margins. You eliminate the mistakes from Chile, and they are right back in this. But
yeah, I told you before this match that misses are important.
Very.
I figured that was going to be the make or break for both of these teams, and so far it's been Chile on the negative end of it.
Yeah, I mean, 2 breakpoints going the way of the United States, making it 4-0. Not out of any stretch of imagination, but Chile's really got to find something within themselves to get this breakpoint back. And it's going to be LN3 for the United States.
Still not going with their protect here. Choosing to save it in case Chile, I guess, starts to recover some of these points. Now 2 breakpoints behind the United States with an opportunity to bring it to match point here if they perform well here.
Yeah, a bit of a longer map as well. Gives some room for recovery. Gonna see some shakeups here once again. Halosa and Peach Marrow coming back in for the United States, backing up Nep, whom we expect to play basically every single map. Like they're just the anchor for this team. Naito Mare coming in for Chile, along with Antrax and Yuchi. Unsurprising, but maybe a mid-match, just trying to try something else here.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess we haven't mentioned it. Osu Original coming out from Marmalade Butcher. Very exciting. Glad to see this gets the play here in this match. And we see more mirrors. Muchi staying with mirror yet again. Neptune this time adding it on Nepogen. But a little bit of a wild card LN map coming out. This is more of what I would have expected them to pick. Aside from instead of like LN2 as they picked last time. But LN2 went well for them. It looks like they feel they have the advantage on LNs overall and went with something more akin to their protect and are opening up. One of the first times we've seen the first 400 combo go through and everyone holds on.
Yeah, this is a much cleaner start from the Chileans. Gonna keep this relatively close right now, just separated by the accuracy alone. And I feel like that was what we were hoping the battles devolved down to, where it's just nip and tuck, hundreds of a percent being traded back and forth between the two teams. And right now, as everybody settles in, the good thing with these maps being as dense as they are, 400 combo becomes really easy to get to. So everybody settling in around their relative accuracies, everybody above that 99.7 mark, and it is only 1,000 points, inside of 1,000 points, the lead for the United States going into the next third of the map.
Yeah, you see literal hundreds of a percent separating these players. Muchi barely behind Nepogen at the moment. Naito Maria just barely behind Hello Sun, who actually found a little bit of an accuracy drop there. Antrax matching Peach Marrow. This is wide open right now. If the accuracies can start to improve from the Chilean players, there's more than enough opportunity there. But like you said, still just 1,000 points as we hit the halfway mark in this with no mistakes from anyone yet.
Would have thought this map be the first one that everybody, all 6 FCs, make it this far. Halfway point of the map now is do or die time in terms of being able to pick up the performance. Any misses from here on out could blow this wide open.
Absolutely good, but we get through that little solo section there, and there's a miss from Hello Sun. The Chileans might have their break, but Antrax right in the break trades it back.
Oh, those awkward rhythms on the anchors, catching them out in trade with Hello Sun. Hello Sun's going to get back up with that 400 combo cap first, so going to be able to recover some of their score and taking a bit cleaner of a miss, having that 10th of a percent advantage as well as things begin to shake back out. Quarter of the map still left to go. The United States not out of it by any stretch of the imagination, but now a 3,000 point buffer with Antrex falling once again here.
That lead starts to grow for the United States as Nepogen and Peach Marrow showing their strength. Nigel Mari and Muchi also holding on to the full combos, but the big accuracy drop on top of 2 misses from Antrex right now being enough for the United States to pull out a lead as we get into the final few patterns. About 50,000 points left available, and without a couple misses right in this ending, it looks like the United States going to bring this to match point off the back of some really unfortunate drops from Antrex.
It's been there. It's been within touching distance. That was the furthest they were able to get without the lead just ballooning out of control. The opportunity was there. They were able to capitalize, but just not able to see it through to the end. And the United States just calm, cool, and collected, just having the backup there for when one person falls, the next two just being able to pick up the pieces and see it through to the end. And it's that team consistency that brings them to the precipice of punching their ticket into winners finals. But Chile not out of it yet. It is their pick, mercifully enough.
Yeah, they still have the opportunity to get their own picks, try to get some momentum, but their winners bracket lives rest on a potential reverse sweep. They need 5 regular points in a row and then the tiebreaker.
Not the
most fun situation to be looking up at.
No, definitely not, but not impossible by any stretch of the imagination. It is a hill to climb, but it is up to them whether they trek through that hill or make it a mountain. And it looks like they're going to do the smart thing. They're going to take a timeout along with this.
Yeah, completely makes sense. They need to use it at some point. This might be their last opportunity to if they continue to find some issues. But it's Chile. If there's any team that can make a comeback in a match like this, it is Chile. They have what it takes. They have the accuracy capabilities. And if the consistency just somehow comes back to them, the United States has been showing some weakness. They've been missing a few times on these maps, but Chile's just been doing more as far as like losing the combos and just giving the United States opportunities to take leads. It's those opportunities that they need to clean up, and if they do, the reverse sweep is certainly on the table.
Absolutely, but it's got to start here. I mean, this is last chance saloon for Chile in terms of being able to stake a claim in this match before they get absolutely swept off their feet. And I imagine the deliberation is like, what do we go for in this situation? We've missed on every single category in this map pool. What is the one thing we can just all lock in on? That Rice 4 ban for the United States just looks so smart right now.
Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense for the United States. Chile doesn't have it to back up on. That said, if I'm in Chile's shoes, the one pick that stands out to me that's left in this pool is Rice 3. I know that they didn't do amazingly on Rice 2 because of a couple of unfortunate misses towards the end of the map, but Rice 3 is easier to keep combo on. It's a little more stamina draining, but I think the combo game is going to be a lot more straightforward on a map like that, which should allow Chile to kind of hold the accuracy that I think they wanted to bank on for this match more effectively.
Yeah, it also gives them more opportunities to recover should the worst happen, but you try not to think about missing in situations like this. And in a perfect world, everything goes according to plan, but it's such a hard decision, especially when the United States has been playing the way they have. Like, yes, it hasn't been like a perfect, spotless performance, but the bar for their perfect, spotless performance is so much higher, it feels like right now, than any other team that they've faced before leading up to this.
Yeah, absolutely. But Hybrid 2 actually going to be a pick. We're going to see Donzimir Sun come out. So trying to dig back into the Hybrid pool. We saw a pretty good performance from them on Hybrid 1, just marred by a few misses that gave the United States their first breakpoint in this match. Chile trying to return and make amends.
Yeah, I gotta run it back here and see if they can just get a point on the board. I feel like that's just for their own confidence in this match, just needing to do this. They can't afford any more slip-ups. It feels like that top right spot has been cursed this entire match. That it feels like a lot of the collapses from Chile has spawned from whomever is in that spot, and I'm hopeful that with the timeout, just a chance to mellow out, relax, just catch your breath from a quick 5-0 start from your opponents. This is the chance, this is the mental reset that they need.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see some swap-ins. Bambi coming back in for this hybrid selection. Hello Sun also coming back in to take the last spot in the United States squad. So this will be the team that tries to close out the match for the United States. Team for Chile that tries to keep themselves alive in the winner's bracket, try to avoid having to go through the loser's bracket to try and make top 3. But it all comes down to the performances. We haven't seen a clean run from all 6 players on any maps in this match so far. We've seen at least one miss come from... I think Chile actually has not had a 3-way full combo at all yet. The United States having a few misses on top of that. But Chile need to hold on here. This is the do or die moment. And if they find a few combo breaks, that might just spell the end of their winner's bracket life.
Yeah, I mean, what a way to go. I mean, I think before this match started, I was saying that it's like, this has the potential to go the distance. It also has that potential to just feel like in the situation we're in right now, where it's just like, on paper, a 6-0 doesn't do Chile any justice in terms of how good they have been. But this is where cards on the table is all I'll say, and they have plenty of time to determine their own fate here, but it's got to start on this hybrid 2 pick.
Absolutely does. We saw a couple of accuracy breaks in that opening pattern, a little bit of a tricky one with that long note in the first and that long jack. But overall, as we get through this opening pattern, I was about to say Chile actually looked like they were taking a slight accuracy lead, but Bambi FNF going to find an early break yet again, and the United States going to absolutely take advantage of that.
Yeah, losing about a full % off of that burst, transitioning into the sequence. Back up with that 400 combo cap, gonna make the recovery run now, but 6,000 points spotted to the United States. They've worked with smaller margins than this and absolutely exploded them. Gonna have to wait and see how it progresses from here on out. Neb finding the drop in trade going into the next quarter map. Peach falls as well.
A double miss from the United States on top of the accuracy overall for Chile actually being better than the United States on this pick. Will give Chile a lead coming out of this first section. As we get out of the first third of the map, a little bit of a longer pick, and we get a small break where Chile going to be able to build up some combo and lead, but it's everyone's back above 400 combo, and that leads only about 3,000 points. If there's any time to show your mettle, Chile, right now is time. We have half the map left to go, and they need to hold on to this to survive.
The saving grace for the United States is the fact that both their players, both their misses, are above 7.6, but Anorex falling on the transition. UTC as well. All 3 combos gone for Chile. Reset now, going to give this back to the United States.
Oh my goodness, the chance that Chile had there is given right back to the United States with those misses. Hello Sun, the only full combo left in the lobby. Accuracy back in favor of the United States. Peach Marrow is going to trade one of those back. This lead looks like it's starting to shrink pretty quickly. We only have a quarter of this map left as Pico tries to build that up, but it's going to take at least one more miss. Neptune might just be it. And there it goes. That lead starts to shrink. Neptune trying to build it back up as we get into the ending patterns of Down to the Mirror to Sun. Neptune almost at 400. It looks like the United States are going to hold on to the lead right now in these final few patterns. Lead starting to build up. Chile trying to hold on, find anything that they can. But Hello Sun with the full combo, and Mewtwo missing will be the nail in the coffin. And the United States, despite a shaky performance, are able to pull it out.
Oh my goodness, not like this, guys. You had it. It was right there in the palm of your hands, and you let it slip. Oh my goodness, the United States pulling it out at the end, able to keep it together. The FC run from Hello Sun absolutely needed there. The one who I think we can both say has been the one we've been picking on from the United States in terms of the misses, being able to clutch it out. A Black Flag performance, 994k, taking the MVP, and the United States takes that match.
I can't believe this ended up being a sweep. This was so much closer than any sweep should be.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Congratulations to the United States, guaranteeing themselves a top 3 finish in this year's edition of the 4Key World Cup. And, I mean, commiserations to Chile. That one hurts.
That might be the best performance I've ever seen from the loser of a sweep.
Yeah.
If I'm being completely honest.
It's just those fine margins when you get to that upper echelon, the teams that have seen it through to the end, ones that eventually move on to take a podium position or become champion. You need those kinds of performances. Wasn't maybe the best day in the office if you were to ask the United States players, but they'll absolutely take that. This, on paper, this felt like one of those like landmine kind of a match.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've talked with the United States players, and they circled this as like a really, really important match for them.
Yeah.
So to get out of it with a sweep, they have to be elated with.
Absolutely. Like better than they could have hoped for, but still very, very much like, okay, that has to. If that's the floor, then it's. I mean, it's only up from there. But I mean. That Chilean team going into the losers bracket from here on out, that's going to be absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, definitely a menace in the losers bracket, but with that being said, that's going to finish off our Saturday block of matches. United States winning that, going on to face the winner between China and the United Kingdom in the winners finals match that happen next week in China and United Kingdom, happening in about 15 hours. Last match of the weekend, it looks like. But we will be back in just about 12 hours at 10 UTC Sunday to start our Sunday block of matches with South Korea and Indonesia in the losers bracket, and that's going to be an exciting one, I think.
Man, Toph, man, I don't want this block to be over, man. Like, that was a really good run of matches.
I'm lightheaded right now.
It is absolutely insane, but I mean, I don't want to let this thread drop, man. Is there anything that we can do, that we as viewers can do to just get a little bit more taste of the action, maybe feel a little more involved in what we've been seeing here today?
Well, I can absolutely tell you that if you want to be a little more involved and feel like you want to support Chile for the rest of the tournament, despite a wonderful performance getting knocked into the losers bracket, you can go to the Osu store and buy yourself a banner for Chile or any of the other 31 teams that made it into the bracket stage, including those who are already eliminated. So you can go on to the Osu store, buy a banner for $2.50 USD, and feel like you are supporting your favorite team, and in this case, go and support Chile, because what a wonderful performance they had, or the United States, and hope that they win it all. Because on top of just having that shiny banner to show up on your profile, if you buy the banner for the team that ends up getting first place in this tournament, you get to keep it until next year's iteration. How does that sound, Sparky?
Oh, that sounds wonderful. But what if I don't feel like playing a bit of a guessing game? What if I do want that shiny banner and I can't decide who I want to be the one that I throw my support behind?
Well, as a matter of fact, you can buy banners for all 32 teams if you so please. And they will all show up on your profile, every single banner you buy. So if you buy all 32, you'll guarantee that you have that extra banner saved on your profile until next year's iteration.
Oh, hell yeah. That sounds fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and head on over to the O store and pick myself up a banner today. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and take our leave now. 12 hours from now, we'll continue our losers bracket run. South Korea taking on Indonesia to see who punches their ticket into losers finals. We'll catch you guys later.